Hello everyone and welcome to the Airbus A300B4 200 series. Today we are going to be flying this ultra incredibly rare add-on that was released for Flight Simulator X and is actually a very good and faithful addition of the Airbus A300B4. Also, the Just Flight A300 is coming and I'm sure that will excel in not only graphics but system design. But until that comes, I like to prepare myself and I hope that you too will feel prepared by the end of this video as we dive into a quick start of the A300B4. So I've already connected the external power and I need to come over here to the flight engineer's deck and I need to turn my batteries on to the norm position. So the thing is over here, we have the batteries, they can be off or on, but when the transformer rectifiers kick in, then the batteries are not always used, apparently. So I think that's why there's a norm position as well. You can also check our battery volts. If we go to bat 1, bat 2, and bat 3, we can see we're within range and there's an amperage being drawn from the batteries right now. So let us connect the external power in case it hasn't been done already. So ground menu, not fuel truck. There we go, connect external power. So I'm now connected to the external power, but the bus ties are still closed. Also verify our external power frequency over here, and also our bus ties are not powered up yet. So let's do that now. And you can see we're getting a reading now. The bus tie breakers are closed and the emergency bus and so on. Essential bus is powered up. And we can come over here and turn on our transformer rectifiers and essential transformer rectifier. And the DC bus splitter can either be in the norm or split position. It depends. Also, we have an essential AC bus source selector, which is in the norm position. We can take it from any number of sources, so just keep it in the norm position. Also, our engine generators, we can test them and turn them on from now. We can also turn our APU gen on as well. Galley power, we can turn on, and that seems to be the electrics all checked. So let us start with the alignment. So I'm going to align this, we turn it to standby. And then we can start the alignment. So coming over here to the INS, let's go to present position, waypoint number 0, and let's enter in or at least verify the position. And the present position is actually working. So that's very good. So let's go to the CDU again. The mode selector unit and go to align. We can also enter in our waypoints very quickly. So going to the waypoint position and going now to waypoint number 1. So waypoint number 1 is north 31000. Insert east 350. Okay, waypoint number 2. Waypoint number 2, north 33426. Insert east 1048. Insert. And waypoint number 3, our last waypoint, north 35539. Insert east 82. Insert. So that out of the way, we can now proceed on with the rest of the cockpit flows. You can also see the alignment is already ready. So let's go to nav and ready nav lights are out. The loading is checked. Nav mode mix. So now the question is, should I start with the overhead panel or the flight engineer's deck? Tell you what, let's start with the overhead panel. So So coming over here, we can check our evacuation signal. So we flip the guard and there we go. We check that. And now coming over here, there's various items we can call for mechanics and so on. Also, the brake accumulator pressure is okay. If not, we can push for pressure. Pressurized system number 3, in short 3000 psi, and that should last for about 10 hours. Set our anti-skid to the norm position or the alternate. We can also do our ground test very much like the Concorde, gives the R indicators. And let's just set that to the norm position. Right, rain repellent, all that we don't need. Let's put our pitch field, rudder travel, all that on. Also our low speed aileron set to normal. Not much we need to do there. And our pitch trims we can turn on from now. The alignment is done. And the yaw dampers, it doesn't actually let us turn on until the hydraulics is established, which is interesting. We also have a dome light, which we can turn on, and I want to use that actually. It looks actually a lot better. The contrast is much nicer. So, yeah, quite happy with that. We can also test our lights, ensure the lights are working, and they are, so that's a good test. Put it back to dim. Similarly, our ignition exciter, the source for that is in the norm or either the alternate. Starters are off. We can do a servo control test. And that checks out. I wonder if this is like a fly-by-wire system or something. It's a bit like the Concorde. You have a blue or green, and you'd have a mechanical system signaling. Or maybe it's something else. So we'll have to see. So the nav lights we can turn on, and the beacon will turn on before engines start. And let's turn the fasten seatbelt signs on, no smoking on, like so. You can also check our emergency light disarm check. All checks out. Coming over here to our window heats, can ensure the power's on, like so. And we can just turn these on now, I guess. Although generally we do so after engines start to save on electricity. De-ice, we don't need any of that. And yeah, we don't need any HF radios. And let's put these on. I think that's all good. Well and fine. So coming over here, we can check our instruments if needed to. I think it all checks out. Airspeed indicator, altimeter, we can test the markers. TCAS is off for the time being. And yeah, let's go over here. Got a couple of flight warnings over here, which we'll take care of once engines start. And yeah, there's not too much over here actually to do. So let's go to the flight engineer's deck. So there's some stuff here for crew oxygen, which we're not going to touch now. Just ensure our engine-driven hydraulics are set to the on position. We do have electric options as well, so we turn on the center, the green system, and then we can PTU our way to the blue and the yellow system. So those are electric pumps, but they can be off. We don't need them. Similarly, fuel, we have our various wing tanks, center tanks, and we have nothing in the center today, and we don't actually have too much fuel, and it is an auto pretty much with some manual control. Electrics, we already checked that out. And coming over here, can do a brake temperature test, like so. Also keep the cargo and smoke in the norm position, and let's keep the APU and engine fire loops in both. We can also do our loop test, but it doesn't seem to be modeled. That's okay. APU control. Let's start the APU, okay? So we'll turn on one on the left-hand side, inner tanks to auto, put the master switch on. The fuel pump you'd only need if you're starting on battery power. And I'll just start the APU. Coming over here, we can check our oil quantities, all checked, it's all okay. We can do our engine vibration test, all checks out. And similarly, coming back over here, our ventilation and our blower fans we can put on. Let's put our fans to the auto. And there's some electric and cargo stuff here which is not modeled. And yeah, coming over here, we can turn the rest of our stuff to the auto position. For the cargo system, trim air we can turn on, ensure the cabin temperature is set to auto or whatever you desire. Cabin pressure, very much like the Concorde. I think they must have really copied this a lot. So we have our system select, we'll use system 1. And coming over here, we can adjust our flight altitude. So we have our barometric correction, our cabin altitude, and right now we'll set our cruise altitude to, let's say, 33,000 feet. And let's do that on both sides. In case one system fails, you just switch to the other. As simple as that. And the cabin vertical speed is set to 400 feet per minute default. That all checks out. And the APU, let's give that a check and see if it is working. So let's go over to the APU gen. It is, and the APU then takes precedence. So we can cut off the external power. Come over here and we can do our APU air. Let's open it up to the auto position. And also our engine bleeds. Let's set them to the auto as well. Our packs, we can turn on over here. Our bleed valves, they're open. HP bleed valves set to auto. And it follows quite a logical way. And our cross bleed should just be set to norm, like so. Set it to close, you see the right hand side then depressurizes because the APU feeds the left hand side. So the cross blades need to be open. We also have air cooling, ram air cooling doors. You just set that to the auto, although we do have manual options as well. And some panel and floodlights, and it doesn't seem to be working. Can turn the probe heats on, ensure they're on, that is. There we go. Fuel jettison panel, we don't want to touch that. Ensure the flight recorder is on. And before start, you do your cargo door test, ensure your cargo doors are shut. Anyway, so coming over here, and we're going to set our AFCS. So let's set our heading. So our heading right now is 236, runway 24. So 236 is our heading. Let's set our initial altitude, say 10,000 feet. Like so. Let's tune into the TIO VOR 112.80, and let's tune into the next VOR on the other side, 114.80, like so. And our V speeds, let's click them and see if they update. There we go, they've updated. And yeah, I think we're all good. Just seeing if our radio instruments work. I think they do. We can turn our flight director bars on, like so. And yeah, let's also just check the course. I think this all works. Our speed has already been added in, I think, V2 plus 10. We can arm the speed brakes as well. Can come over here, can do our TCAS test. I think that checked out. So there we go. And we don't need ADF and all that today. So let us start the engines then. So first thing I'm going to do is come to the overhead, arm the ignition, set ignition A, and then you'll notice that the packs will automatically spool down. And all we need to do then is open the start valve. So number 2 is rising up. Just wait for 20% N2 until we introduce the fuel, nice and smooth. Let's also get a beacon on. There you go. Quite a slow engine start. Also, in the manual, it said to turn off the packs in order to avoid contaminated air from entering the cabin. So let's do that as a precaution. Come on, it's taking a long time to spool up. Okay, there we go. Fuel introduction. Number 2 is running. And just waiting for the starter cutout, and then we can start number 1. Also, let's arm the auto throttle, like so. Okay, engine number 2 spooling up. And come over here, check our hydraulics. And you can see that the yellow system has spooled up. Just waiting for starter cutoff. There we go. Let's start number 1. There we go, number 1. Coming up on 20%. There we go, number 1 is spooling up. Also, let's set our transponder to TA out A. Okay, so number 1 is spooling up. Let's see if our yaw dampers are now engaged. They do. That's all good. And also let's turn on the landing lights and takeoff lights. Put the strobe on. Also, we don't need the external power. Should have removed that. There we go, number 1 is spooled up. Starter's off, so let's de-arm the ignition. Set that to off. Coming over here, we can check our controls. Hydraulics are checked. Fuel, let's turn all the pumps to auto. We have nothing down here. And let's put the outer wing tanks on as well. Coming over here to the electrics, all we need to do now is ensure that our engine generators are running normally. So Gen 1, Gen 2, all good. Let's shut off the APU air. APU air's off. Let's put the packs back on. And let's shut down the APUs. APU is shutting down. Also, let's extend our flaps. Today we'll go to... There we go. That mode. So a bit of slats and flaps. I don't have a trim setting, unfortunately, so I'll have to just deal with that. And the electrics are looking good. The flight warnings all checked. And let's start the chrono. Like so. And yeah, I think that's all okay. So just a cursory glance at the overhead. And let's see, do I need these? Yeah, we did. So now these have come back to life. It's well spotted. So coming over here, we can just cursory check our systems, hydraulics, looking good, fuel, electrics, and pneumatics. So let us start then. So, releasing the parking brake. And we're going to start spooling up. Engage toga. There we go, takeoff thrust is set. $100 knots now. V1, rotate. V2, positive rate, gear up. I've got some funny aileron trim. It looks like the controls are trying to bank me off to the left, and slightly right. Okay, let's engage climb thrust. Nice and steady. And now let's accelerate. So we'll accelerate to 250 knots. So pitching down the speed. Let's get the flaps up. And then we'll get the slats up. Okay, flaps up. Now pitching the speed. Approaching 250 knots. So let's engage the autopilot now. And go IAS hold.